Welcome to Black Belt Beauty Radio, a podcast fueled by a passion to support your journey in developing your most beautiful and optimal performance in life. Each episode is driven with the intention to elevate your mind. When we elevate our mind, we elevate our life. So get ready. It's time to rise. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Black Belt Beauty Radio. In today's episode, I'm going to tease out a recent Instagram post. I want to highlight a couple of points of this post that I feel could be really useful to you. Maybe right here, right now, you're looking for a sign. This is probably the episode then. Or at some point in your life, I think that the content that you're about to take in could be very, very useful because here's the deal. We all find ourselves facing these moments where we need to make a decision and a decision that could feel very big, right? Where the stakes can feel high. We're not sure which way to go. So I'm going to share bits of this Instagram post and then tease out what I feel is going to be really valuable to take away with in this episode. So the caption in this post reads, "Waiting for the proof to take bold action? Nah, I say become the proof. Uncertainty is life. It's not meant to be avoided. It's designed to help us express our greatest potential throughout our life. And that is done when we develop an empowered relationship with our self-identity. There are no handouts to self-trust. No one can build what lives in your heart but you. Your life, your vision, your decisions, your path to create, and the path is you." The actual post is me on the beach and I'm talking to you, and there's a piece of what I share in the video that I want to present in this conversation. But first, let's talk about that, if you're waiting for proof, I want you to think about this idea that you are the proof, right? We could be waiting forever if we're always waiting for proof, right? That's the rational mind coming in and, trying to do what the rational mind is there to do, honestly. Like, part of the functionality of your brain actually is there to keep you safe. When you're facing uncertainty and there's, you feel like there's something on the line that could, present some kind of loss or inflict some kind of hurt on you, well, the brain's going to do whatever it can, all the scripts, to keep you from moving in that direction, right? Because it's designed to help us continue on in our life, right? To evolve, to stay away from potential harm, right? But the reality is that there are so many aspects and points in our life where, we got to put the rational mind, on the shelf, like, thank you, but no thank you. And we got to move from our intuition, right? Because if you think about like some of the greatest inventions like this right here, what I'm using to communicate, can you imagine at the time when this stuff was being developed and never had been before, the ideas probably seemed really far out, right? Like, Steve Jobs is the best example, right? Creating the iPhone and all that. But, it was that insistence from the intuition and putting the rational mind, on the shelf, like, you calm down right now, that allowed the invention to come through, right? So ultimately that was a decision though, right? So the invitation here is for you to really, if you are in that position and you need to make a decision right now and you're waiting for proof, I want to invite you to rethink that and rethink of this idea that you are the proof, right? That the journey that you are going to take yourself on by making that decision, whatever that is essential for your growth. It's important for you to develop yourself to become, the individual that you're here to become. And you want to trust that, right? And I'm not, listen, I'm not ever trying to position anybody to move into some, kind of scenario that's dangerous. So it's almost like pointless for me to say that, but I'm going to say it just in case, right? I'm talking about, decisions that could be, do I apply for the job? Do I, launch the podcast? Do I move to the city? Do I like any of that stuff that feels like, there's risk involved, but here's the other piece that I want to bring into this conversation that was shared on the video. It's so easy to focus on what you stand to lose. And that's a common question. What do I stand to lose if I do this? But I want you to instead think about, what do you stand to gain? and literally write it out. Write out both. Look at your list of what you stand to gain when you're in a position that where you need to make a decision. And then ask yourself, look at that list and ask yourself, is me not taking action worth me potentially losing all that I stand to gain? Because that's the deal. This is like a common, beautiful, powerful quote, but it's like you miss every shot that you don't take, right? And you don't want to miss it's so much more advantageous to try, to come up short, to, have to face some kind of radical obstacle, and move yourself and develop yourself through that obstacle. But also, gained the potential gains that are on the other side of this challenge, right? It's so much better to move that route. I know in my personal life that has always been the case for me. And that's what this post was. It was like, I was sharing that in every moment that, I was faced with, do I do this? Do I not? And these are kind of bigger decisions, I wasn't waiting for the proof. I knew that I was the proof. This is how you build self-trust. This is why I always say self-trust cannot be handed out to you. It's fake. Like there's no like, oh, here you go, I didn't trust. Like, no, you got to earn that shit. You got to show yourself, that you can even put yourself in hard positions and find your way, through it, find a way to beat it, find a way to become better, from it. So, I want to really, really highlight two things in this short episode here. If you're waiting for proof, I really want you to think about the concept that you don't need to wait for proof. You are the proof. And in fact, moving through uncertainty with that, faith in yourself, that, belief in self, that is going to help you further become more proof because you're saying yes to yourself. I believe in you. I believe I'm capable. I'm willing to face whatever it is because I know that on the other side of this, there's all this potential, whatever that is, right? Even if it's one thing, but it's one thing that you obviously matters to you or you wouldn't be considering this decision, right? And if it doesn't, then you're not even going to look in this direction or move in that direction, right? But you choosing saying yes and moving yourself through that process is you furthering yourself as the ultimate proof in your life. The only proof that you really need to make decisions against uncertainty. That's the point. You're here. We're all living with uncertainty. And, if uncertainty is, having you play small, if uncertainty is having you back down, if uncertainty is not, is beating your individual expression, meaning you are not really moving through your life, expressing yourself, right? Trying new things so that you evolve and further your self-expression. That's a problem. It's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel good in a multitude of ways, right? The goal is to make friends with uncertainty. The goal is to realize that the beauty of life is actually the uncertainty. If we were so certain of everything, that's actually scary. That's like the Twilight Zone. It would just be like, get up every day, like, and it's happening. That is so scary to think about. Actually, it's very boring and truly like scary. It feels like a scary movie or something. No, we need possibility. So I want you to realize that uncertainty is possibility, right? And your relationship with possibility, the goal here is for you to get your relationship with possibility to be so fucking strong, to be so electrified, to be so, and I get it. It's not easy. Listen, I'm not trying to say like, oh, that when I face, these moments, like it's just so easy for me. It's not. But it has been the through line in my life that I have danced with uncertainty in various ways, and became friends with it in a way where I didn't allow it to stop me. I didn't allow it to, put the brakes on me when I wanted to move forward and I wanted to go in a certain direction, right? So I know I can speak to this with so much conviction, so much authenticity to say, like, listen, when you really face uncertainty with this lens, when you look at it as possibility, when you're paying more attention to what you stand to gain, and when you really move through these moments with this conviction of, I am the proof, I'm all the proof I need, because whatever it is that I have to go through, I'm willing to go through, and I know that I can get through it and I will be better for it. And that's, outside of even the gain that, I'm aiming to experience and to receive. I mean, that is just like, that's where it's at, man. Like, what else, how else do we want to be moving through our life? Like, afraid, backing down? No, it's not. We want to move towards life. We want to express ourselves. We want to try. We want to see what we're capable of. We want to put stripes on our belt of self-trust, of courage, of, boldness, of, just us here, like, doing this thing called life with our fullest potential, right? And the only way that you're going to really, really be able to express your fullest potential is if your relationship with uncertainty is in this state where it's not preventing you from moving forward, right? So that's what I got for you in this one. And I hope, again, just to kind of like to do this at the end of these solo-sodes, but just to think about, if you were looking for a sign, if you needed proof, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and go, fuck, I am the proof, unless it's something that you actually don't feel confident in, like you're like, actually, no, you know what? This is actually not the route for me. That's your intuition then. That's perfect. Like, great. Then fucking put that shit to the side. But if it's something that you are feeling like, no, I really want, your heart is driving you to the action, but the rational mind is doing the thing that the rational mind does, then I'm asking you, like, hey, take note. What do you stand to gain? Look at that list really clearly, and then look in the mirror and go, fuck, I am the proof, and move. And if it's hard, so what? You'll figure it out and you'll be better for it. We don't get stronger by just doing things that are easy. Tension builds. It fortifies us. Don't back down from it, right? Seek the fight. That's where it all, comes in, right? Don't stop yourself from living the life that you really want to live. And living the life that you want to live is you creating the life that you want to live. That's how it happens. And for you to create it, you got to be willing to dance with uncertainty, fucking on a real, like, tango with it, like, make friends with it. It's possibility. So if this episode supported you, if it, helped you, get what you needed to make that decision to move forward, like any and all feedback is not only appreciated, but is wanted. I want to know. I'm here to connect with you. Truly, like, at some point soon, just so you know, I will be doing live podcasts, which will be so epic because then I can actually interact with you in person. And I can't wait for that. But until that comes, and it will be coming soon, all the digital connection is so deeply valued and appreciated. So please do comment on Instagram, DM me, share it up in your stories, YouTube. Keep the comments coming there. I love them. I appreciate them all. And if you've not already given this podcast a 5-star rating review, please do so. It really does mean the world to me, to my team, and it's helping this podcast grow tremendously. It's really exciting. It's taking off. We're approaching 5 years on the podcast, and it's just, it just goes to show, like, the more you keep, consistency is everything. You just got to keep going, but just know that you are part of this with me. So whether you're new and this is your very first episode, or whether you are an OG and you've been here with me for all the years, like, I value all of you and we are in this together. So definitely, any help there's a link in the show notes. I just want you to know that you are helping this show grow. So love you guys. I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, you guys. If you loved it, please share it on your social. Throw it up on your Instagram stories and tag me. I'm at Black Belt Beauty. I am also at Roxy Look, RoxyLook. I love connecting with you guys. This is a conversation that I want to just continue growing with you guys. So if you feel inspired to hit me up, do so in that space. I always enjoy hearing from you. If you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so by rating it and reviewing it via iTunes. It's such supportive help, you guys. It really helps the visibility of this podcast. So I appreciate and thank you in advance for doing that. And on that note, you guys, I'm signing off with all my love and always looking forward to catching you on the next.